So in this example, we are already given the structure, the length of phrasing. And as you can see, there are phrases, lines outlined here, and each sentence is marked as well. So we can see how many phrases already in the sentence, and as we know, motif is just one bar over the bar line. So pretty much everything, the length of the full phrasing is there. So what we're going to do right now is to see how we're gonna approach the method of finding the main motif and just basically describing what we actually see, because this is one of the examples that we use to practice at home, but I think it's good if we try to do it together, right? How many phrases do you see in the first sentence?
Okay, in the first sentence I see 3 phrases. First phrase is of 3 bars, second of 2, and the third is of 2 as well.
I like your thinking. Very good, very good. So now we're going to find which motif is more important in the first phrase. So remember, we just discussed yesterday, we have 3 methods of finding the main motif. First, we can look at the score and see if there are any clues, maybe in terms of more expressive articulations or harmony, or melodic pattern is ascending or in a higher register. That's the very first start. Second is we can simply sing or play different ways just to see what our intuition tells us. And remember, it's good to choose the ones that feels more easy and simple and natural rather than pushy and with the force. And the third method, if still we cannot clarify, then we can simply, to choose the main motif in the phrase, we can simply compare the harmonies on the last note of the last interval, main interval of each motif. As we remember, in each motif, the last interval is always going to be the main one. And then again, which harmony is more expressive, that might help us to find the more prominent and important motif. So what do you see first in terms of music notation that can help us here?
So the dynamics pretty is the same, it's pianissimo.
Correct.
And we don't have some extraordinary articulations.
Nope.
So this is plain, and all we can take out of notation is the direction of the whole phrase.
What about harmony?
It's going
harmony.
Harmony. I carry it for the last.
Okay.
And
yes.
For music contour, music line, melodic line, this all is going down. Yes, the whole phrase is going down. And yes, we have this rising point in the middle, in the melody, if we take a melody as a left hand. We can choose, maybe, out of that cause, we can choose the second motif. But as for me, I think we can choose third motif because of harmony. I think maybe. Oh, but now I am doubting.
I have to actually clarify about harmony. When I said that the harmony, the more intense harmony might point to the main motif, actually the most important part of the motif is the last interval. So if you see the harmony that actually leads back to tonic and resolution, that's probably not the main motif.
Oh,
so even if the whole harmony, the whole motif is kind of tense and then it resolves in the last interval to something simple, probably not.
I agree. then maybe we can choose the second bar, second motif,
Okay.
as the main.
And the last thing, what about, by the way, those hairpins? Are those about dynamics or agogic? Are those about agogic rhythm, agogic rubato deviations, or it's about dynamics? Remember, to be it about dynamics, we need to have a clear indication of dynamics before and as well after the hairpin.
Okay.
So in this case, these are rubato. You need, if you understand that these hairpins don't belong to dynamics, then completely disregard them. And so eventually, after you already finish the whole piece and you're on the stage of being creative and you just allow yourself, forget the notes and go with the flow, but still underneath you have that net of this clear phrasing structure that was done previously, these hairpins will come through naturally. Like I said yesterday about the star, just don't look at the star. Sometimes you need to look sideways to see the fade star, you know, eventually. So
yeah, we ignore them for this step.
Exactly, for this step, right? Okay. All right, so let's just see about the harmony, what you said. So we have...
Yeah. The stance.
All right.
This is softer.
So this is soft. So yes, so the only thing from the first method out of 3 that helped us to see was harmony. Good. So let's just also maybe go to the second intuitive part. I liked it already, but what would we have done if we were not sure? So yeah, what would have you done?
I can try to sing it and find, does it feel natural?
And by singing also, I forgot to say, it doesn't really mean sometimes out loud. As long as you sing it in your mind and you kind of also can hear the harmonies, that will work. So if I try to sing out loud what I actually hear in my mind, and remember it has to be in a fast tempo, and I try all 3 different variants. Let's say first I'm gonna emphasize the first motif. Okay, now second. And the third.
This is a pushing.
Well, yeah, okay. So actually, that was interesting because when I actually sang, and I sang the first motif more, somehow it also felt good. Maybe because there are some, there in the melodic pattern, you know, there is expressive third in the right hand, the left hand goes on expressive six down, you know, where in the second 2 motifs everything is kind of very near each other, we're going by seconds. Or no, I mean at the end there is some interesting turn, but that somehow that also kind of felt good. But second one, that also nice. The last one. Yeah, that sounds like a bad taste. Big singer, yeah, with big boots. Yeah. All right. So. Okay. Well, you see, now that I've done the second method, I'm a little bit in doubt. Could it be first or second motif? So what about we go to the last method? Look at the last chord of the main interval of all the motifs. So the last chord of the first motif would be here, and the second. Ah, that makes sense why I also felt the first would be good, because I think the first I could feel that
Cool.
the second could be yeah, a bit softer and cooling down. But what if other way around? That also sounds like a very epic and pronounced and noble.
No.
So I could really say that both variants with the first motif more, second motif more could exist in the interpretation.
So we're rolling the dice and choose first on or the second.
Sometimes, for me, when I feel I'm a bit too lost, I mean, right now we really dive really deep. I usually don't spend so much time. Actually, in fact, I usually just stick with the second method, because after some time when you train this phrasing thing, your intuition get aligned with the right way of choosing. You know, it's important to guide your intuition in the beginning, and then you kind of trust in it. So for me, it wouldn't take more than 30 seconds to decide that, yeah, I will probably go with the second motif. Fine. Then in this case, as long as it's clear and it's fixed in the score, it's never wrong. But it doesn't mean that it might not change. So when later you will be playing the whole piece and you go into this channeling state and somehow something moves you to choose another motif, then you simply try it, and if you feel it makes more sense to you at that stage, then you change it in the score. Okay? So as long as you decide now, you fix it in the score, there's no wrong in it. Okay? Fine. So let's say which one you want.
In the next.
No, in the first one. Which one we're gonna fix?
I think the second one.
Okay, cool. So alright, something like this. Look, let's take a look at the next one. Next phrase, a bit more simple because it only has two motifs. So which one? Let's take a look at the music score first.
Okay, I can see that the melody line is rising in the second motif. So this may be the clue. And
but also the first motif, the okay, that's alright, that's a bit maybe we should forget about melodic line or use it as the very last thing, because also if you look at the first motif, it's higher than the second. You know what I mean? Da, da, da. I know it's descending. Though it's descending, but it is higher. Remember, I was also saying sometimes something that is higher could be more important. So let's just keep the melody. I wanted to tell you. Actually, probably the melody contour, just like I also wrote it in the book, I put it the very last thing. We need to put it at the end, okay? Let's take a look first. Dynamics, articulations, and harmony. That's probably the most prominent.
All right. Dynamics don't change. And articulations as well, without extreme things. And the thing that lasts is the harmony. We can see the motif, the first motif and the second motif. We compare last interval, last harmony of the interval, and or this transition between two harmonies.
Let's just even clarify more I think we need to look at the harmony overall in the whole motif. But it is important to also look at the last interval of the motif. So what I mean, for example, in this instance, both of motifs are still in the same harmony. They come into the same harmony, to the tonic.
Yeah.
But if you look at the second motif, it does get a little bit more intense and developed because of this diminished harmony here.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, you kind of like, right, I think in this case second motif is more expressive.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that look at the harmonies in both motifs, but don't forget the last interval is very important. And let's say if in both motifs you have quite intense harmonies, but the first motif leads, the last interval leads to intense harmony, but in the second motif the last interval leads to a more resolved and open and softer and cooler, more cold harmony, then you probably want to choose the first motif. That's all I want to say.
Mm-hmm. But in this case, both last intervals are leading to a tonic.
But overall, the insights of the second motif has some change, and it's more interesting than the first.
Yes, because of this diminished harmony.
So I think harmonically, definitely pointing towards the second motif, no?
Yeah, yes, I agree.
Okay, so fine, let's go to the second method. Let's sing in our head fast, both choices. Or
okay. For me, the first and the second maybe they have a right to be alive.
Okay, let me try.
So if
I think actually, yeah, you go on. You wanna play? Try playing.
I tried it, yeah. So it can be, but it's strange, but it can be.
I feel with my intuition, I would choose the first one because it feels easier and more elegant.
Yes.
Rather than.
This is pushing.
Again, pushing, no? But you see, even with the harmony, but I guess in this case, the harmony will just light up the elegance of this whole phrase. So. Verses.
No.
A bit different style, but
really
first
better.
is just more elegant. First is more elegant, yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Maybe we will try
Next
right
one.
away the intuitive way in the third.
Okay, let's go to
phrase.
the right to the second one. Okay.
Okay, we choose the first, for example.
So I think actually the melodic pattern here is really good because it's really. Because it's so descending, like straightforward descending, and you see the first is higher than the second, and also harmonic land. So
Yeah,
that was quite easy.
Yes, this satisfies. Yes.
I love Mendelssohn because he's so clear. Like, if you want to study phrasing with ease, start with Czerny and then go to Mendelssohn, actually. Alright. So, okay, let's just switch. You got the idea. That's the easiest one. Let's go to the next one. Well, there is a Nocturne by Chopin, but what I'm really interested in, let's keep the grade and let's try Second Ballade by Chopin. Because this is a bit tricky, might be, because it's a very okay, with Mendelssohn it was easy because it's so obvious, like you said, you could go with your intuition just like that. But if you're talking about a very monotonous kind of a harmony and the rhythm and the melody stays in the same place, like in the Second Ballade, then you really have to maybe help yourself with other methods. So, okay, so you have the first sentence. How many phrases do you have here?
Okay, in this variant you have two phrases. The first one with 3 motifs, the second with 2 motifs. And now we will think about main motif in first phrase. I would like to go right away to intuitive way and try to sing and just go by simple перебор, метод подбора, by simple.
Okay, let's try all 3 different variants. Let's go.
Let's take the first one. Okay, let's take the second one. I already feel that I don't want to try the third one, but I still will try. For me, the first variant is more natural. It is like an pick-up measure, you know, this.
I see, and you know what also, because I don't know, I just felt also like you're pushing a gentle boat and then it goes by itself. So that's why it kind of feels...
Yeah, I remember Trop said me about this ballet. It's like a wind come through window and goes the first. So yeah,
nice.
My professor would agree with us.
Okay. So, I think if I would approach that, I would try to look at the harmony. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing about harmony here. They're like all in this beautiful dreamy state, all kind of ethereal. So there is no much trust into harmony. Fine. Okay. I can see the melody goes in the last one up. Fine. No articulations, no dynamics changes. Okay, let's go to the second method. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I kind of feel I would have chosen the first or the second, but let me just play now fast. So I like the first one. I like the second one because it had a little bit of intro to it, a little bit of waiting. I definitely did not like the third one because the intro and waiting was too long and made me feel little bit too tense when it's gonna resolve.
Emma, what do you think if we choose the second, then we have to rearrange phrasing? Maybe take the first phrase, first two motif.
I thought about that. Let me think. And then 3. Okay. I thought this before we started. I was looking at it because this structure I made about 6 years ago. I think 2016 it was. And I'm looking at it now with a fresh eye, and I was just thinking, why didn't I unite the first 2 bars as one phrase and the second 3 bars as another phrase? And I think it does make sense. And then in this case, we're gonna make in the first phrase second motif more, and in the second phrase
with 3 motifs. Second phrase. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have chosen the second.
Yes, I agree with you.
Because we already realized it's definitely not the first one, because it's a bit too push and force and bad taste. Плохой вкус.
We can. I think it may be the second or the third, but I would choose maybe the second.
I would choose the second again just because the melody is higher. Both of them kind of descending, but the melody is higher there. Because it's kind of descending. Wait. Push. I села в лужу в конце. Set in the pedal. Yeah. So beautiful and loving. Wow. And what if we go to the third method? Remember, maybe it's time to use it. So if we try to see the main harmony, the main chords of the main intervals of the motifs.
You're comparing last chords, yeah, the last chords of motif. So the first note of the bar, yeah.
Yes. For me, it was both. I don't think it's helping here. So let's just stick with the second. So in both phrases, we choose the second motif. Good. Good.
Now we need to choose the main phrase.
Yes, we didn't do that in Mendelssohn because I think, okay, that's enough of the kindergarten, let's go to real stuff. So let's take a look. Which phrase in this sentence, first or second, is going to be more important? So, as you remember, we're using the same method here as well. Overall, we're looking at the first... Yeah, but again, you see the first phrase is kind of static, the melody is static, and then on the second phrase, the melody is descending. It's like, okay, it's not helping. Then the harmonies are pretty much, okay, maybe more developed harmonies we are having in the second phrase. So if I don't see much help in this first step of any clues on the score, let's jump right to intonation and just play in our head very, very fast, sing in your head both variants. Let's do it together, but inside your head, and then we will see. Yeah, I think that's obvious.
Uh, but I start doubting.
I know. Okay. Let me
Because
see what I
because
get.
it may be the first even. It may be the first.
Yeah.
It's like you pushing a little this boat and now this.
And then you really hear the wind, no? Everything goes with air.
So it's like it may be, but it's too fast. Yeah, and
the
I
second.
remember if we play this slow, maybe.
Let me play slow both variants. How about that?
Okay. Let's
Okay,
see.
first I'm going to do the first more. Okay. Also andante. Let's make it in the right pace. Okay, and now second.
You see?
I know.
Unexpectedly.
Wow. Wow, everything's so in veil and so Wait. So beautiful.
You know what I feel that why it is
It's also
Another-
calming. It's also calming.
Yeah.
It gives this character of tranquility, no? This way of phrasing.
yes, and because it's ballet, it's a narrative. You start the narrative, you as a narrator, and if you push too much at the beginning, so we can choose
Yeah.
the
Wow.
first.
It was so poetic. I'm discovering the whole poetic and light vibe of Chopin, actually. I want to re-record my Chopin pieces. Okay, so with the next sentence, I would like you to guide me through everything. Now that you know, I just want to see how you got it, how you understood it.
All right. So we are already given by your markings of two phrases in the second sentence. Each phrase contains of 2 bars. And okay, I will trust, and let's go right away to finding the contour of first phrase.
Usually, when something is repetitive, that means it's more insisting, and you would generally go with the second one, or the third one, or the fourth one. Depends how many times it repeats. Basically, with the last
Yes.
one. But we already know the pattern of this whole ballet, that it's more kind of descending in everything, and to create a calm and very tranquil and peaceful mood. So for me, that pattern would make more sense. Ta-da, ta-da, everywhere. So in this, that would be like exception to me, and I would have actually chosen the first motif here, just because of the structure of the whole piece.
I did the same thing. I chosen the first motif in the first phrase. Okay. And the second phrase, I would like to go to intuition part, but I know I need to train my thinking process to make to bring more order to my mind. So yes, I would like to to process step by step. Okay, we go from the first rule, the first method, logic. We use logic. Everything about harmony is still repetitive. It's subdominant and no. The second motif we have dominant and tonic.
Finally.
Yes,
Isn't it
we're
almost
resolving.
For the first time after the third bar? We come back to tonic.
We're finally resolving, and as you said in Mendelssohn, when we have the resolving, most probably it would be not the main motif because it's calming, resolving, and this is the proof for choosing the first motif. Okay, let's try intuitive one method. Okay, a little bad taste of my singing, but please take me as I am. Okay, let's go to the second.
Well, if you sing the second, you definitely know it's not the second. Just say. I know, right? Just for fun, go on, yeah.
Okay,
right.
we've
so we've chosen
the first
one. The first one also leads to the cadence. Oh, what is it? Oh no, it's the second inversion. But with your intuition, you were absolutely right. It's the first much more important than second.
Okay, now we go to
choosing the main phrase now.
Main phrase, yeah.
Let's play both ways, okay? So first I'm gonna do the first one, and then the second. Okay.
All right.
In the tempo. Okay. I should enlarge because I can't really see what I'm playing. Too small. I love the second one, you were right. I know I tried right now the first, but my intuition just went, and you see I even made the second one. Okay, let's do the second one. Maybe also because it's the last one, and it is almost like a last, well, not goodbye, but...
You know what I think interesting as well, but it may lead to rearranging a phrasing again.
Three and two.
We can move the beginning of the next sentence to the next bar when we have tie C, and we can take the first phrase contains of two motifs that leads to this thing, like and from this point starts new sentence.
I think you're right. I think you're right, and you might not. Well, it's both. So you're right in terms of stretching the second phrase and pushing one more bar forward, because we have changed that pattern in the very first theme. We know that our phrase in the second sentence starts our second phrase in the first sentence starts from here. Right? So it only makes sense then we start from here again. So that would be correct, and that would be aligned with the new structure that we introduced in the very first sentence.
So we're in real time rearranging what is given to us.
And so in the second sentence then we're going to have, but I would keep the same pattern in the second sentence. I would make two motifs phrase And then, well, 3 motifs phrase because we pushed it a little bit. But everything else would be the same. You start new sentence, and then you really appreciate that tight note. You understand why it's there, because he's really dissolving and fading in there, and then from there he starts in kind of like he transforms into the new. Oh my God, this is so beautiful! All right. Listen, so this is a good example. You can finish at home. Let's go to the next step. So now, basically we were learning how to find the contour with the structure already given, but now let's make our own structure. And let's open the Widman, but the one that has only motifs there. Which again, basically it has nothing because, I mean, you can do motifs anyway. We know it's only one measure. So here we already have outlined motifs. So this is basically what you're gonna be faced with when you're trying to start making your own phrasing. And just by outlining, by marking motif, I just kind of saved you some time here. But yes, again, you would do that with your closed ears. Yeah. You don't have to understand music to do that. Alright, so these are our building blocks, which always have strict mathematical structure. Now from there, now we're gonna start creating. Let's find the length of phrases. This is what you would start with. Remember yesterday we were talking about trying to. So we have a choice. First of all, you need to understand we have a choice of a phrasing that has a phrase that has 2 motifs, 2 measures, or 3 motifs, 3 measures. So we basically just need to choose which one would be more aligned with the musical idea, meaning you're going to try to avoid starting a new phrase in the middle of the same melodic pattern. That would be too early. Or you don't want to start the next phrase in the middle of the next musical idea. That would be too late. That's basically it. So let's see.
So may I sum up? To determine the length of the phrase, we need to think about not to break the beginning of the new musical idea. So if we start phrase too early and our new idea start to emerge somewhere in the middle of the phrase that we marked, that we did something strange. Yes. So our patterns should be aligned with natural, intuitive starting of new musical ideas.
That would be one of the rules. This is correct. The second rule, which might be probably the one you should start with, is actually you need to first somehow in your mind also outline the first sentence. And again, as we know, the same principle with sentence, we don't want to start the sentence in the middle of the next musical material, so you want to align it with the end of melodic pattern. So that's probably what you want to do. You will want to take a pencil and you will want to, I guess, somehow write a vertical line, which would signify the beginning of the new sentence. And then within that sentence, you need to look at the phrases and you need to see what are the options, because what you don't want to end up, you don't want to have 4 phrases in a sentence, ultimately. So let's find the limit of the first sentence here. What do you think it could be?
I may be wrong, but I think this is the beginning of the third line.
Correct.
We can choose, and what we get, and the result is the sentence contains of 6 motifs. Contains of 2 phrases by third.
Good. So okay, fine. So
motifs.
very well done. I validate what you said. That would be the end of the first sentence. And now the next step, you look and you see, yes, there are 6 motifs, and then you see possibilities. So what could that be? It could be 3 and 3. It could be 2 and 2 and 2. It could be, and that's about it. You can't make 2, 3 and 2. No. Okay. So. And now we're gonna try to see what makes more sense.
Okay, let's go from bigger to smaller. Let's take 3 and 3. And I go within 2. Oh yeah. Yes. On the stage when we determine the length, we think about musical idea. And we think about idea that if I take, not to break it. If I take 3 and 3, in first phrase I have this idea of preparation. Yes, it's like something is building, accompaniment is building. That's the idea. And the second is the beginning of the melody. So for me, this can be a clue, but maybe not the one. If we take 2 plus 2 plus 2, we still don't break musical ideas. First phrase has this build up the accompaniment. Second phrase emerges new idea in the second motif, and the third phrase has the respond to this.
Yes, I would simplify this as both what you said is correct, but with the second variant I would explain the choice of it with just aligning it with verses in a poetry. And here you can feel the poetic rhythm, the metric rhythm, in the rhythm of music. So you have ta da 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 da, long note, caesura, pause, da 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 da. So it feels more natural to think 2 plus 2. And then also when you go da 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 da, it's a repetitive kind of rhythm in it, cycling there. So that arranging this sentence by 2 and 2 and 2, 3 phrases, just would be more aligned with probably intuition, with more poetry rhyme here of the music. I personally have chosen 2 plus 2 plus 2. But, it could have been 3 as well.
I have a little doubt, not about your variant and mine variant, but just yes, maybe it's strange, but first motif looks like pickup measure. Looks like something's before, and music starts out from the second motif. So this, but I may be wrong. So it's like an introduction. The first motif maybe
a tail.
Взят за скобки, like, yeah. What do you think?
Could be. So then that would be 1, 2, 3. Then there will be 3 phrases still. A very shortened one, the first one. Maybe the second phrase would have 3 motifs, and the third phrase 2. Or the second phrase would have 2 motifs, and the third phrase 3. Also could be.
Okay. what we then choose? We have so many variants.
And this is
And
where
all
the
of them
main
are
universal
true.
rules come to play. Don't overthink, just fix it in the score and move on. But it's a nice thing to contemplate
Okay.
and just to get to know how the music, what it could be. You know my choice. What I already told you. What would be yours? What do you think?
I will go with you. I will take your choice, and I think it's okay.
All right.
But
But
yeah, all right,
if I
all right.
was not in the picture, if I were not on the picture, then what would have you decide? Then you just choose. You just like, what is it important for you here?
All right. I want to be honest, but I may be wrong. Maybe I will do a mistake, but I would like to do a mistake in the
There is no
stream.
mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is no mistake, and I would like to do a mistake as it's. Yeah. Allow myself. Okay. Let me choose. Okay, then. Two phrases by three motifs.
Okay, so the very first choice. All right. Because you go with simply separating musical idea. This is introduction, accompaniment, and this is the theme, the voice. Done. All right. Found the length of phrases by kind of also outlining the sentences theoretically and see how many can fit and make sure there are only 2 or 3 phrases, not 4 or 5. Okay. Then we made our choice how many motifs will be in every phrase that somehow also aligned with musical idea. Good. And so now we're going to the contour, right? So we got the sentence length, we got the phrases length. So now we're going to the contour. We're going to find main motif in each phrase, and then we're going to find main phrase in this sentence.
I will start from main motif in each phrase. I will start from first phrase, and my logic C. This is repetitive structures, and as we said in ballet, when something is repeating, it's insisting, and the last motif that's repeated. Oh, in first phrase I choose the last motif. In the second I will choose my logic see that see so many things. Okay, you said that melody is the last thing we should take care of. And okay.
Unless you really see it so prominent here. It's just so to your face. You can deny it. It's so to your face. Okay, let's just agree it's the second motif. Okay.
yes, I see.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. But as well, of course, we can skip to the harmony and see that this is a very open harmony, but this is very closed and maybe more tense. And it sounds strange, but we can experiment and try. Maybe it's just that of the examples when we do a building of energetic crescendo with diminuendo. We can do no, it's strange. No, we don't take this. I choose the second.
I think in this case
one.
that agonizing hairpin that we have in the second phrase on the last motif, it's kind of like also showing, and then it's kind of falling down. So let's choose the second motif. So we have first phrase, last motif, second phrase, the middle motif. Let's take a look at the main phrase in the sentence? First or second?
My intuition tells me that the second would be better, because if we choose the first, we already do so many things, but in the second is this melody again. I am talking about melody, okay, but with melody is rising again, and this is so pushing. So the first must be with less energy, and the second with more. I would choose.
So everything less, more, and more. Less and more in our phrases. Okay. Well, you see what I've done. So well done. So this is your full phrasing, yeah. But what I've done, like I said, I broke it into 3 phrases of 2 motifs, 2 and 2. I made first motif in each phrase more, and I made the last phrase more. So, I don't know, you know.
Yeah, I see.
And so what you've done is the last and the last, so it's always more. Okay, you've done this. So
I see that your variant sounds more detailed,
more elegant,
more
I would say. Like you said, more detailed.